All right, very good. Well, I want to thank you for joining the online meetup this evening. So our focus this week is on nutrition. I just want to review a couple of things. 60–80% of your results are going to be based on what you're putting into your body. So nutrition is extremely important. I know it's difficult during this time, especially when you're stuck in the house, but it's important to make sure that you're focusing on nutrition because it's going to 60–80% of your results are going to be dependent on it. It's also important to know how many calories you're taking in versus how many calories you're burning. It's also important to make sure you understand how to balance your macronutrients. And then when you're able to balance your macronutrients, you're able to make sure you're able to stabilize your blood sugar. That's going to help keep your energy levels high and then help with satiety. So just to review a couple of things, the first thing to understand is what's called the first law of thermodynamics, or the law of conservation of energy, which states that the energy that goes into your system or into your body has to be equal or greater than the energy that goes out of your body. Otherwise, it's converted to one form or another. So there are approximately 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. So if you wanted to lose 1 pound of fat in a given week, you would have to create a caloric deficit of about 500 calories a day in order to do that. If you look at this example, if you burn 3,000 calories and you consume 3,000 calories, guess what's going to happen? There's not going to be a change. If you consume more calories than you're taking in, and this is probably what's happening to a lot of us right now, but if you consume 2,000 calories more than you're taking in on a daily basis, of course, you're going to increase your body mass. So the goal is to make sure we're creating a slight caloric deficit, and that we want that deficit to be anywhere between 500 and 1,000 calories a day. It's also important not just to focus on calories, but to make sure that you're balancing your macronutrients. Macro means large, nutrient means it's vitally essential to life, and there's 3 macronutrients. They are protein, fat, and carbohydrates, and you really want to think about them in that order. So at each meal, you want to think about, where is my protein, where is my fat, and where is my carbohydrate? So you hear us talk a lot about PFC every 3. So it's important to make sure that you're balancing your protein, your fat, and your carbohydrates, and you're eating every 3 to 4 hours. And we'll talk about why that's important in just a minute. But in order to, one of the easiest ways in order to measure your portion sizes is to use your hand. So for females, the palm of your hand is going to be about 3 to 4 ounces of your protein. A fist is going to be about 3 ounces of your carb. And then the tip of your thumb should be about the serving size for your fat. And for males, your protein intake should be about 1 to 1.5, maybe 2 palms, which would be about 5, maybe upwards of 8 ounces of protein. Your carbohydrate's going to be about 1 to 2 fists, and then your fat's going to be your entire thumb. So why is it important to make sure you're balancing your macronutrients? Well, it's going to help stabilize your blood sugar. Your blood sugar should be somewhere between 80 and 120 milligrams per deciliter. When your blood sugar drops, you start burning muscle. And as a defense mechanism, your body's going to hold on to the fat, your energy levels are going to crash, and then the cravings are going to increase. And this is typically what happens when people skip breakfast. And then what happens at lunch or at dinner? Well, you have a tendency to overeat, and then your blood sugar is going to spike and you're going to start storing fat. So it's important to make sure you're eating every 3 to 4 hours and eating a balance of protein, fat, and carbohydrates in order to stabilize your blood sugar. When your blood sugar is stable, fat's actually released into your bloodstream. It's absorbed by the muscle and it's used as energy. So that's why it's important to make sure that you're looking at approximately how many calories you're taking in, you're looking at your macronutrient balance, and then following the PFC every 3 rule. So there's a couple of resources that I wanted to share with you. If you haven't created a .fit program, you can go to this bit.ly link. So this is bit.ly/2 capital Q, Z, capital I, capital C, 8, capital D. That'll redirect you. Let me get out of this real quick. So that'll redirect you to this website. And then you can put in your first and last name, your user, you can create a username, which I would recommend you use your email address, and then put in your email address, confirm your email address, and then create a password. I would recommend you use the same username and password with all of your accounts, so that way you don't get confused. So your username would be your email address, and then the password would be the same password you use for FitMetrics or for the PG Fit app. Once you've created an account, then what you need to do is you need to actually go in and create the program. So there's a difference. You need to create an account, and then you're going to go in and create a program. So the first thing you're going to do is just click on any of the tabs. It's going to ask you, what is your goal? And so you'll click on your goal, and let's say, for example, my goal is to lose weight. Once you do that, you're going to have to go through it. It estimates that this is going to take about 7 minutes to set up. Okay, you're going to go through and put in your personal statistics, then put in your medical history, put in your physician readiness questionnaire. So there's just some questions you'll need to answer. You'll need to put in your activity level, and then determine exactly what your goal is. Once you've done that, then you'll actually be able to access your program. So this is a program that I've already created. But for example, I can go here to the overview. Actually, it doesn't look like this one was created correctly. But once you've created your program, then you're going to be able to access all of the information on the back end. So you'll be able to log your food. You can go through and look at different customized menus. You can even log your activity level. You can even set this up with a Fitbit or the Polar A370, so you can track how many calories you're burning throughout the day. You can even set it up where, if you're using MyFitnessPal, which is the app that we recommend to log your food, but if you can actually import that information into your .fit program and be able to track how many calories you're consuming throughout the day. So there's a lot of really useful information. One of the other things you can do is you can actually create an entire program. So you can go through and create a workout program for you to follow, and you can even schedule that out on certain days of the week. So I just wanted to review some of this information really quickly. All of the latest and greatest information we have on our website, so you can go to our blog, which is news. I just wanted to review the schedule real quick. So this is going to be changing on a periodic basis, but as of right now, we're streaming the video workouts Monday through Friday at 5, 7, and 9 a.m., and then 6 p.m., and then on Saturdays at 8 a.m. The only exception is on Monday and Fridays. On Mondays, we're having the online meetups at 6, and then on Fridays, we're having the virtual happy hour at 6. You can also access the membership site. So you'll go to pgfit.com, click on login, and that'll redirect you to the membership site. You'll need to put in your username, which is going to be your email address, and then your password, which is a password that you created or one that was auto-generated. And you should have gotten an email with your membership login credentials. If you didn't receive that, let me know, and I'll make sure to resend that to you. But you'll log in. And once you've logged in, there's going to be some tabs at the top: downloads, 5 fundamentals, programs, videos, and other resources. If you wanted to change your password, you can come over here to my account, and then you can change your password. But here is all the downloads that we've added for this week. And what's going to happen is this is going to change on a weekly basis. So since we're talking about nutrition, first thing I'd recommend is download the nutrition workbook if you haven't already. We've also got some new downloadable PDFs for you. So the first one is 42 delicious fat burning recipes. Then we have the 31 dessert recipes. Okay, then we have the grocery shopping pantry list, which we've created in partnership with HEB. And then we also have the smoothie guide. Last thing is going to be the 28-day meal plan. This is one of the easiest meal plans to follow. Like I said, you should be having about 5 to 6 small meals throughout the day. And based on all of the programs that we've used in the past and all of the meal plans that we've created, this is really the easiest one for all of our clients to follow. So you can download this, and it's just as simple as printing it out and then putting it in your purse, or putting it somewhere where you can just refer back to it. But it's a really great simple meal plan to follow. The other thing you can access is the nutrition fundamental. So you can go through and read a little bit about nutrition. You can watch the video, and then we also have the PGFit nutrition workbook there. The other thing is we're going to be adding some new programs. So starting next week, we're going to challenge everybody to do a 7-day detox, and that program will actually be will be housed here. The other thing is going to be the videos. So if you're not able to attend the videos live, you can go back and you can review all of the streaming videos. And so the last 4 videos that we've created, including the one that we just did today, are going to be housed right here. All of these are private videos, so only you as a member have access to these videos. The only one that we've made public is the teacher workout video, just so we could give some people some ideas to follow. And then we've got all of the daily workout videos, which we're sending out to the community just to give them something to reference while they're stuck at home. We've also got the perfectible workout videos, the nutrition videos. So if you haven't had a chance to go through this course, you can go back through and watch all of the nutrition videos, the whiteboard videos we've created. And then we've got other resources here. So if you haven't had a chance to look at the online tools and resources, I would encourage you to go back and look at that. So with that being said, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. So what I'd like to do at this point is go ahead and open it up to any questions that you might have. So I've unmuted everyone for the most part. Does anybody have any questions?
Michael, what was that
And they
address for the dot
like
again?
For the dot fit?
Yes.
So it's right here. What I'll do is once we get off the call, I'll send a text.
Okay.
I don't know. You can ask her how much longer.
But it's.
Well, I understand that she might be on. Okay.
But it's bit.ly 2QZIC8D.
Okay. But you'll send a text with that address.
Okay. And then I'll also put that on our blog as well.
Okay.
Just so that everybody
Go
can
outside and
access it.
pick the dog poop up.
Can I finish this question?
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good question. Like I said, once you click on this URL, what it'll do is it'll redirect you to this page, and that's where you'll create your account.
Okay. Okay.
If you've already created an account, it'll tell you, and then you'll just have to provide your password.
Right. Okay. Great.
Very good. Any other questions?
I have a question, Michael. Is there any way to see before we sign up how many people are already signed up for a class?
You mean on the app?
Yes.
So, tell me your question again.
Okay. Is there a way to see how many people are already signed up for that? Because I can be flexible. I mean, I prefer the 9, but if there's already way too many on 9, I can switch to 7.
Okay.
You know, or even
Yeah.
5.
So I think as of right now, because a lot of people are off of work or they're able to work from home, I think our 9 o'clock class is going to be the busiest class right now. This week, we're kind of experimenting a little bit to see how many people are going to be attending. But if we have enough people interested, we'll have a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, a 9. And I don't even mind opening up at 10 or 11 if we have enough people interested. I'd like to keep maybe 6 or 7 people in each class, preferably not any more than that. So that way we're still able to provide everyone with some feedback during the workout.
Right.
But to answer your question, when you sign up on the app, it should tell you how many people are in the class, doesn't it?
Oh, okay.
I think it does. I'll have to go back and verify that, but I think you can see how many people are actually signed up for the class.
Okay, I haven't signed up for Wednesday, so I'll do that.
Okay, great.
See that. Okay.
And just for your information, what we're doing is we're going back and we're restructuring our entire program. So obviously this month the focus was on power training, but we're going back and we're following what's called an undulating program design. So what I mean by that is we're changing the workouts every single day. So we're going to go back and do stabilization and strength and power. So that way you can actually work out 5 to 6 days a week and still be able to see results. If we did a power workout every single day, I think I think everybody would be so sore after a couple of days that they wouldn't continue. So, any other questions?
Good.
What about you, Chris? Do you have any questions?
Nope, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, how are your workouts coming along?
So far, so good.
Good. What about you, Uma? Do you have any questions?
No, it's going to good so far. Thank you for support and thank you for arranging this for us, Michael.
No problem.
Maybe a quick question on the virtual classes, group classes. So you have every day 9 to 10 and 5 to 6, morning and evening, or how many sessions are you?
So we have every morning at 5 and at 7 and at 9. And then in the evening, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 6. Because on Mondays and Fridays, we're doing either an online meetup or a virtual happy hour.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
What about you, Mark? Do you have any questions?
Oh, I'm good, Michael. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody specifically have questions on nutrition? That's really kind of the whole point of this online meetup. Is there anything I can help you with when it comes to nutrition? So the big question is, how is everybody doing with their food intake?
Doing real good.
Has it been a struggle over the last couple of weeks?
Definitely. Yes.
Michael, I'm going to say yes, and it's probably just due to the stress that we're all under. Sometimes I don't make the best choices.
Yeah. So what do you mean by that, Mark? What kind of choices do you make?
I maybe eat more than I should. I eat things that probably aren't best for my blood sugar. Things that I know that I shouldn't be eating, but I sometimes let the stress get the best of me.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'll use our situation as an example. We were out of town during the week of spring break. Well, when we got back in town, of course, everybody had gone to the grocery store, which was kind of interesting because when I was able to finally make it to the grocery store, most of the things that were left were actually the healthy items. So we were fortunate. But we've obviously been making all of our meals, and for some reason at night, we've been making brownies or cookies, and so I've been eating more than I should, and it's it's gotten the best of me. But I think a lot of it does have to do with stress, and then just not being able to be as active as I'd like to.
Well, I certainly think what you're doing here, Michael, is potentially helping all of us. So I'm glad the option's here for us. Thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. That's one of the reasons that we went back and we created this 31 dessert recipes and then these 42 delicious recipes. So that way you have some different recipes to access to help you during this period of time. So does anyone else have any questions about nutrition?
I just want to know if you have any extra cookies left over.
Right now we have a whole pan of brownies.
Oh, well, there you go.
I know.
Better.
So we made so we're done with the cookies, and now we have a pan of brownies. But I think we're down to two-thirds of the pan left. That's just in one day. It hasn't even been 24 hours yet. So, but just to use that as an example, that could be a snack. That's how I've kind of justified it. Now, I don't know if that's a good justification or not, but I'll have a shake. So I'll have my protein shake, which has primarily protein and a little bit of fat. and then I'll have my brownie. So your brownie is considered what?
You're fat.
So yep, it's considered a fat. And what else? So what is it primarily? It's made of sugar, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's your carb. So if you have a protein shake, there's your protein. Then you have your brownie. There's your fat and your carbohydrate. Does that make sense?
Oh.
Yeah. So you can so you can still balance your meals, but the key is to make sure that you're not overindulging. And I think that's where we all get into trouble. One brownie can turn into 2 or 3, and before you know it, a third of the pan is gone, right?
Yep.
I think it's key to know ahead of time those snacks, just because you're nervous or whatever, that are healthy.
Mm-hmm. So what are some healthy snacks that you can consume?
One that I love is an apple with nut butter.
Okay, very good.
Do cucumbers with hummus.
Cucumbers with hummus, yes.
Greek yogurt with some berries.
Very good. What else?
Celery stick with either peanut butter or a little bit of cream cheese.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Kale chips.
Kale chips.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you add a protein source to the kale chips?
Hummus, probably. I love hummus.
Yeah, you could do some hummus or maybe some nuts or something.
Yes.
So go ahead. Go ahead, Linda. What were you going to say?
It's always handy.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
Eggs, boiled eggs.
Yep. Yeah, you could do a couple boiled eggs with the kale chips. So, and like I was saying, this is just a good reference meal plan to look at, because for breakfast, this, you could have an omelet or maybe a meal replacement shake, just depending on if you've got to eat something on the go with your mid-morning snack. You could do a protein bar, or you could do one of the examples that we just talked about for lunch. You could do a sandwich or a wrap, or maybe like a salad with some chicken or some protein. You could do a shake as a meal replacement, or one of the snacks that we just mentioned. And then for dinner, it's just a healthy, well-balanced meal like salmon, brown rice, and asparagus. So what about you, Gerald? Do you have any questions?
No, we're good. Both Irm and I are here, and we're listening to you and watching the president on TV. So we're governed. Yep.
Very good.
No, we're good. We've been out walking, mostly is what we've been doing to get our exercise. So lots of people out walking in the neighborhood with dogs and kids and all that. So that's been interesting, talking to our neighbors. So from a distance, from a social distance.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that there seems to be more people out walking around than I've seen in a long time, which is good. It's a great way to make sure you're staying active, as long as you're keeping your social distance.
Yes, the trails are a little crowded these days, huh?
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Angela or Jay? Do you have any questions?
We're good. Thank you for the information. It's always good, Michael. Appreciate what you're doing.
You're welcome. Let me see here. Since I have a few minutes, I'm going to try to log into this account on the back end. And I wanted to just show you this because there's some really neat resources here. Let's see. So does anybody have any other questions while I'm looking this up? All right, so this is an account I created back in December, but it's just a proxy account. But I wanted to show you how once you've created the account, you can go in and you could create a new program if you wanted to. I think some of you have already created an account, but you might want to create a new program. But you can check your progress here. So this isn't my personal account, but it's just one that we've set up. But back in 2018, I was 175 pounds. Well, surprisingly, I'm back to 175 pounds now. But you can check your progress here. Of course, you can go through and add your measurements. So once you create your program, you can make sure you've updated all this information. What does BMI stand for? Can you see that there? So it stands for body mass index. The problem with body mass index is it just looks at your height and your weight. So really, the more important number is going to be your body fat percentage. The insurance companies still use BMI to determine a person's overall health. But if you look at that, the more muscle you have, the higher your BMI is going to be. And so, according to this, I'm considered overweight, which I'm probably a little bit overweight, but, if my body fat percentage is in a healthy range, well, that's the most important part. You can come over here to food and you can log your food. So you can add a new food. And let's say, for example, I'm just going to do a quick, let's say I had eggs for breakfast. So I can go through, and it's not exactly what I wanted to do, but you can use the search engine and add the item. Let's see if I can come back up here to the top. One of my favorite parts is going to be the customized menus. So once you've set up your program, you have access to the heart healthy, lactose free, healthy fast food, vegetarian, 40-30-30, which is a specific macronutrient balance to help you lose weight a little bit quicker, the standard, the night out, and athletic performance. So you can go through and you can look at these specific meal plans, and they're based on your goals. So it's going to tell you exactly how many calories you should be taking in and what your macronutrient balance should look like for each meal. So this would be an example of breakfast according to the Heart Healthy meal plan. You can also add your activity. One of the things I wanted to show you is you can add workouts. So this is a workout that I created. Let's see if it pulls it up here. But you can actually go back and you can create your own program, and it's based on the model that we follow, called the Optimal Performance Training Model. But you can go through and you can review your program. Let's see if I can get into it. So it doesn't look like I can get into it right now, but you can go through and create your own program. Here's where you can, if you're using MyFitnessPal or Polar A370, or even your in-body measurements, you can link your accounts. So you can actually add your caloric expenditure. Then, of course, there's the dietary support recommendations, which is why we primarily use the program. But based on my goals, these are the 3 supplements that the program is recommending. If you order these products, right now you can get 20% off. And I think if you spend $50 or more, you can get free shipping. And usually you'll get them within 3 to 5 business days. So, and there's just a lot of really useful information here. And you can even ask one of the registered dietitians that they have on staff specific questions. So does anybody have any questions about the .fit program? No? Is there anything else that, that I can specifically help you with?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Well, if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Like I said, I'll send a text with the link so that you can create your account. But thank you very much for joining the online meetup. If there's anything we can do to help you, please don't hesitate to let us know. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.